Good evening, YouTube model railroader fans. I'm Ray. You all have probably figured it out by now. At least I hope. It is the 10th of May, 2015. Get out of my pocket. Yeah, Jesus whiz. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. I'm not sure if there's any moms that watch these vlogs, but hey, you know, shout out. Vlog number 17. I know I'm a little bit behind schedule. I think I've mentioned it before. Sorry. It's been a long day. I think I've mentioned it before. This time of year, things get a little different for me. I'm a man of multiple hobbies. Of course, basically from about, I'd say from October-ish until, you know, March, April time frame, obviously the railroad is my main focus. This time of year, April through September, I'm a boat owner. I've had the same boat now since 1996, which means I'm pretty close to having it for almost 20 years. The boat itself has actually just hit 30 years this year. It's a 1985 26-foot wallcraft aft cabin. I'll have to put some pictures up on Google so you guys and gals can see that. But I just spent the last two Sundays, about a total of 10 hours between the two Sundays, sanding, washing, waxing, painting, charging the batteries, staining the swim platform, you know, so needless to say I'm a little red, just a little bit. I'm a little wiped out. So, yeah, tonight's vlog, kind of going to be a little bit off the wall. Like I said, I haven't been on for probably about a week and a half. I guess it's been other things have been going on too, so I'm not going to get into that. Nothing to do with the city, more personal stuff, and I'm not going to lay that out there. One thing I did want to mention, you know, we kind of talked about it on the vlog before last, the vlog 15, I think it was, which was either right after the Big Build or right after the YouTube Model Builders Live. As you all know, they've got the IMRRO.com along with YouTube Model Builders is, and of course the air conditioning is going on. If it isn't the clock, it's the air conditioner. One of the downfalls, or one of the pitfalls of having the railroad in the basement. Noises. Anywho, back to topic here. Stay on track, literally. But IMRRO.com and YouTube Model Builders, they are putting on this thing they call the Big Build. It's basically being done to get folks more into or onto YouTube to do basically the same things that I've been doing now for 17, along with the other videos that I have up on the railroad, and a couple of them that I actually have up on. There's one boating one already, and then there was like 6 or 8 for my other winter hobby, which is bowling. Obviously, that's other hobbies, and if you're interested in those type of things, go ahead and check it out. Otherwise, it's no big deal. But I've been off and on talking about this thing, and I was like, no, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to have time over the summer. I've got the boat, and so on and so forth. Well, I was kind of bouncing around on eBay the other day and came across something because I had actually seen it on, I don't know if anybody knows, David the Cat and the Castro. He's got a really unique 4x8, actually it's a 5x8 waterfront scene that's done at like dusk. All of his buildings have lights, and the only lighting in the room is the overhead blue lights. Looks fantastic. But he's got a model on there that I have been looking for years. I actually had seen it, I don't know, probably 30 years ago when my father and I were in the hobby together. And I hadn't seen it since, and I was just kind of tootling around. Because one of the things that I was actually thinking about doing, until I actually went back and looked at the contest, I was like, well, that ain't going to work. I was actually thinking about picking up, and I think I mentioned this in one of the vlogs before, obviously, to get this one locomotive is like way out of my league. I'd love to have, just for the sake of history, I'd love to have a big boy on the display shelf, if nothing else. So I'd actually thought about going ahead and buying one of the Revels, and I'd actually seen them on eBay, buying a Revel model of the big boy and putting it together. That was until I went back and looked at the stipulations of the contest and realized, well, it's mainly for structures and not for building locomotives. Rats. So, long story, well, now getting further into the story, I'm just sitting there looking around, just looking at structures, thinking of things that the layout doesn't have that it needs. The roundhouse is one. I really don't have a diesel servicing facility or a steam servicing facility for that matter. I have a gas tank sitting over there for filling up the diesels as they come in. And, you know, I don't have a full sanding facility, a full diesel facility, a full, you know, steam locomotive facility either. So I was like, well, those would be kind of cool. That's until I came across what I found the other night. And I'm going to leave it at that, because I'm going to leave some folks in suspense with this, because I really don't want to blurt out what it is. I will tell you this, the manufacturer's model power, which I know isn't exactly the high end, and so on and so forth. That's fine. It was a decent price. Probably paid a little more than what I should for it, but hey, it was a buy it now, no auction. So I figured, what the heck, I'll go ahead and I'll get this thing and you know, see where it goes. And now I'm just getting alerts. So anyway, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring, as it were, for this YouTube model builders thing and see where it goes. I figure, what the hey, you know, I'll put my amateur status on the I'll put my amateur status on the line and see where this goes. But I know that Ron Perry and Barry from, you know, the YouTube model builders, I know that those are two of the judges, and like I said, this is something, you know, I'm hoping I have the time, and I figured, maybe, you know, during the week, once my daughter's done with softball and so on and so forth, maybe I can sneak down here. I mean, for 10 minutes, of course, I'm down here for 15 doing this, so if I can come down here for 15 and do this, I can come down here for 30 minutes and do, you know, three things as I'm building this building that I've bought. So, you know, what the hey? Pardon me. And yes, I finally got over that stinking cold. Maybe it's being around the water for the last 2 weeks and it finally sucked it out of me. I don't know. Anyway, you know, nothing much else has been going on, obviously, with the layout. Like I said, I haven't had really a chance to get down here and do much. You know, I've been kind of going back and doing some other off-the-wall things. I was sitting down here the other night looking at it going, you know, I'd like to do this and I'd like to do that. And like I said, it's the wrong time of the year now for me. And, you know, I hate to keep bringing it up, but, you know, these vlogs of mine, which had been fairly consistent on a weekly basis, are probably going to start becoming either bi-weekly or may even become once a month. And they may even turn over to where they're more of you know, boating and fishing and things of that nature, since, you know, my boat's going to be hopefully put in the water tomorrow. It's done. Hopefully they'll pick it up and put it in the water tomorrow. But, you know, like I said, that's another hobby. I'm not going to, you know, but, you know, it's, you know, life as usual, you know. We all talked about it kind of on the YouTube model builders too. You know, it's like you go ahead and you get involved in the monstrosity like I've got down here, and I want to take it apart and rebuild it. Ooh, yeah, I want to take it apart and expand it and so on and so forth. But you get interrupted by this thing called life. You know, you still have to work. Unfortunately, I'm not anywhere close to retirement age, even though the gray hairs may fool you. You know. You still have to work. You know, I've got a 16-year-old daughter. She plays softball. Then 2 times a week I help the coach. You know, so and then on the weekends now I got the boat. The day was Mother's Day, so you know we basically, you know, even though I didn't really do much with the. Actually, yesterday we did a lot. So, you know, it just gets to the point where life gets in the way, and you know, even like Bill said, he's even retired and was hoping he could devote more time to his life. And he says it's amazing. He says I've got no time, and I see what my mother-in-law went through. She's retired and she's like never home. She's always out with her friends or out doing something. So, you know, I get it. I absolutely get it. So, you know, you got to take life for what it is and enjoy it while you're here, and you know, do what you like and see where it heads off. On the rebuild, I had another one of my brainstorms, which was only a drizzle, but hey. I had a thought, and I'm actually going to pose the question to the help page that's up on Facebook too. But I had a thought the other day. You know, here it is, I'm so stuck on wanting to run 4 trains at once. And I came up with a track plan and I really didn't like it. And in fact, it was the one I was actually working on the bench here, and that's going to get scrapped. I'm not going to do that one. I think. I didn't like how it turned out. I've actually got pictures of what I was trying to do. I haven't posted those yet. It just didn't, it was going to serve the purpose, but it wasn't going to work out as far as operation goes. At least I didn't think it would. So I had this brainstorm, and I'm actually thinking about doing a double deck layout, dual track main line. See where this is headed? If you do single deck, 2 loops, upper deck, 2 loops, connected with a helix. I still get to run, I can make them, to make the 2 loops continuous on top and on bottom, I've got 4 trains to run. I can sit there and watch 4 trains go around. If I want to do switching between the upper and lower deck. I can put in staging yards. Of course, now I'm going to go to 2 staging yards, you know, and it would be a combined passenger and freight. But there's obviously other things that would come into play with that, and I'm not sure I really want to get too deep into that. But I want to see what people's thoughts are on doing it that way. To me, it was actually how this thing was originally supposed to be set up. As I mentioned once before, this was supposed to be a two-tiered layout. It never got there, but it was supposed to be 2-tiered. But, you know, it was a thought. I don't know if it'll work, but it was an idea, just another thing to throw out there on the table. So I'm watching my time, and I'm sitting here at 14 minutes and 15 seconds, so I'm getting real close to being out of time here. So again, happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there, and you all know the deal. Wait for the high ball, green tracks ahead. We'll catch you next time. You all have a good one.